Olivier Giroud, Alvaro Morata, Michy Batshuayi, Alexandre Pato, Radamel Falcao, Loïc Remy, Diego Costa, Eto'o and Fernando Torres. This is the short list of forwards that Chelsea have signed in the recent years. With the exception of Diego Costa, none of these players have come close to the level of Didier Drogba. Many experts predict Higuain's failure at Stamford Bridge, but Football Geeks will prove that this is not the case, and Gonzalo may score a dozen goals by the end of the season. Subscribe to our channel, and let's geek it out! Gonzalo Higuain could have moved to London last summer, but the club's management was too reluctant to negotiate with Juventus. After moving to Milan, Higuain told reporters that only Sarri wanted to see him at Chelsea, and that's why he chose the Milan side. But with joint efforts in just a couple of months, Morata and Giroud made Chelsea wanting an Argentinian with the same desire as the stubborn Maurizio. During the first half of the season, Morata failed to prove his professional attitude, and closer to the winter's Boxing Day, it became clear that Alvaro was written off by the coach. Olivier Giroud did not use his chance, while Eden Hazard does not like the role of the false nine. The 20-year-old football player feels uncomfortable in this position, about which he hinted in his interviews. The first reason why some fans predict problems for Higuain in the Premier League is his age. They say that he is not fast and has already played his best years. However, such statements sound at least ridiculous, given that in the 2016-2017 season, the 36-year-old Ibrahimovic scored 28 goals for Manchester United in 46 matches in all tournaments. You may refute that Ibrahimovic is one of a kind, and it is not fair to set him up as an example. Well, in the same season, Sunderland striker Jermaine Defoe, in his 34 years, scored 15 goals in a far not the most attacking team of the Premier League, as the Black Cats got relegated to Championship at the end of the season. In all fairness, let's recall the same Drogba. He lifted the Champions League Cup at the age of 34, and 2 years earlier, he became the best forward of the Premier League with 29 goals. We do not deny that the career of Higuain has already passed into its final stage. He is just 31, and this age is not an obstacle for making the final stage a bright and a colorful one. The second factor that is actively used against Gonzalo is the poor form of the Argentinian. In 15 games of Serie A, the striker scored only 6 goals and gave a single assist. This is not exactly what the Rossoneri's fans expected. Just 6 goals in the first half of the season, of course, is not enough for the eminent Argentinian. But if you pay attention that all of the other Milan players combined scored only 20 goals during the same period, then we might assume that the form of the Gonzalo is not the major problem. Chelsea coach Maurizio Sarri agrees that Gonzalo will need to regain confidence and improve his form. But if Higuain receives at least half of all of the chances that Olivier Giroud missed in the League Cup match against the Spurs, then 15 goals in the second half of the season is quite a real figure for the 31-year-old Argentine national. The third and the final argument is more about Chelsea as a whole. By the middle of the season, the form of many players has stumbled. If at the beginning of the season the team created a lot, but there were problems with implementation, now Chelsea is criticized for poor performance in the opponent's penalty area. How can forwards score if their partners do not create enough moments for them? In this regard, Jorginho has received a personal portion of criticism. The record holder in the number of passes in the Premier League is yet to give his first assist of the season. But let's make it clear one more time, all these arguments are rather one-sided and can easily get smashed against the Sarri's attacking philosophy. Having received fierce criticism after a spineless game against Arsenal, Chelsea has soared in the League Cup semi-final match against Tottenham. It is in this style of football that Sarri wants to play, with very mobile wingers and with Conte and Barkley playing box-to-box. Those who watched the match against the Spurs would agree that Olivier Giroud was the weakest link in the field, while Higuain will not need much time to adapt to such style of play. In general, it can be summed up that by signing Gonzalo, Chelsea's management expressed full support for Sarri, and the support of the head coach is now felt in the locker room. What happened to Mourinho when he began to criticize the team leaders? What happened to Antonio Conte? Maurizio toured the players in a tougher and in a more open form, and even personally criticized Hazard, But unlike with the two predecessors of Sarri, the team reacted to the criticism with understanding. What do you think about this transfer? What are the pros and cons of Higuain's future at Chelsea? Share your thoughts in the comments. You were watching Football Geeks. Subscribe to our channel and we'll see you soon.